In elementary school, I know a lot of your teachers taught you order of operations using the little mnemonic device, the little thing, my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, my dear Aunt Sally. But those letters actually stand for mathematical terms, right? My stands for multiplication. Dear helps you remember that you divide. And then aunt, add, and Sally is subtract. I don't really like the way that this is written because it makes it sound like you always multiply before you divide. And then in a middle school, you learn that it's not just my dear Aunt Sally. It's please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Like maybe she was rude or something. And then when we write it, I always have my students write it like this. Okay, so go ahead and get this caught up in your notes. You copy down everything just like I did. If you need to pause it, you can. This is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And of course, if you have an aunt whose name starts with an S that you like better than Sally, please use that to help you remember. All right, now the mathematical terms that these stand for is parentheses, exponents, and then back to elementary. Multiply and divide, add and subtract. And the reason that these are on the same row is because you do them at the same time, whatever comes first. You do all your multiplication and division before you do any addition and subtraction. Okay, we'll get those copied down. And, oh, why doesn't that move? Okay. When students are working these problems, and these examples are going to go into your spiral, when you're working them, this is what I want to see. I want to see the problem, copy down. You're not going to try to do these in your head, okay? As much as you think you can, while you're learning, you do these on paper, okay? Then after you write the problem, you're going to come over here and write the steps. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So I should see PEMDAS all over your paper with every single problem. Okay, now we said P stands for parentheses. Do you see any parentheses in this example A? No. So let's check it off. E stands for exponents. It doesn't have to be a 2, it could be a 10. But do you see any? Yes, you do. So what you're going to do is underline that base and exponent that belong together. Underneath all of that, you're going to copy down the problem exactly like it is until you get to the underlined portion. Once you get to the underlined part, you are not going to copy it down. You're going to solve that piece. So what is 3 squared equal to? That equals 9. Remember, it's 3 times 3, not 3 times 2. Okay, do we have any more exponents in this problem? You don't look at this anymore. You can cross that out if you want to. Do we have any more exponents? No? Well, let's mark it out. The next step, multiply or divide, whatever comes first in the problem. We're not doing addition and subtraction yet. Okay, do you see any multiplication or division? Yes, you do. It's right here, 18 divided by 9. So underline that piece, and then below it, we're going to rewrite the problem. 5 was not underlined, so it gets copied. Neither was the plus sign. But 18 divided by 9 is underlined, so we go ahead and solve it. What is 18 divided by 9? 2. Okay. Now, do we have any more multiplication or division? No. Mark it out. Now we're doing addition and subtraction, and we just have addition. So that's all we do. And 5 plus 2 is 7. Now let's look at what would happen if we did this wrong. Okay, I'm going to put the wrong work in purple. Okay, so let's say we got to this step here. 5 plus 18 divided by 9. Okay, let's say you did 5 plus 18 and you got 23 divided by 9. And then you do that and you try to work it out. And you get 2 and 5/9. 2 and 5/9. Look at how different this answer is than this one. Completely different answers. And this one is wrong. And this one is right. Okay, if you're working in construction or with money, those are pretty critical mathematical areas where you need to be exact and accurate whenever you are working. If you get the wrong answer, you could give too much money to somebody, you could build a house wrong and it would fall apart. You have to make sure that you're doing the order of operations carefully. Okay, the next problem is problem B. So on your notes, copy down the problem just like it is. Sometimes it's helpful if you watch the example one time without writing anything down and then rewind it and write and take notes the second time. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, so do you see any parentheses? Yes, you do. Okay, so we're going to underline the work that's inside the parentheses. And then what do we do after we underline? We rewrite the problem. So 4 times, okay, now I'm to the underlined part. I don't copy 9 divided by 3 anymore. I write that solution. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Okay, now I'm going to keep the parentheses there because we have that exponent, and that exponent is saying that everything inside the parentheses, we square it. Okay, back to my checklist. Is there any more parentheses? Yeah, there's this, but there's no work inside it, so we're done with those parentheses. And now E stands for exponents. Do we have any exponents? We do. Right here, 3 squared. Okay, let's go to underneath that and rewrite the problem and solve when we get to the underlined part. 4 times, okay, that wasn't underlined, so we copy it. And then 3 squared, that means 3 times 3. What does that equal? 9. Okay, let's go look at our checklist. We were on E, exponents. Do we have any more exponents here? Nope, we're done with that. Multiplication or division. That's where we are, and there's only multiplication left. What is 4 times 9? 36. Okay, and then we didn't have any addition or subtraction to do. We've got our answer before that. Okay, next. C. I can't believe they're making 6th graders do this. Okay, 8. I don't want that to be in red. All right, 8 plus 12 minus 8 squared divided by 2. Okay, so draw your checklist over here. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And just don't freak out about these problems. Just go step by step according to the checklist. So P stands for what? Parentheses. Do we have any? Yes, we do. This right here. So we're going to rewrite the problem, but the only thing that changes is what's inside that parentheses. 12 minus 8 is what? 4. So that's what we're going to write. 4, and then the 4 is squared. I don't like that 4. The 4 is squared. I'm going to go ahead and put the little 2 right there. If you want to put parentheses around it, you can. Divided by 2. Now, let's go to our checklist. P was parentheses. Do you see any parentheses in our new problem? No, you don't. So mark it off. E stands for exponents. Do you see any exponents in our problem, in our new problem? Yeah, right here. So 4 to the second power. So let's rewrite the problem. Everything gets copied down just the same except for what we underline. 8 plus, and then 4 squared, 4 to the second power is 4 times 4, which is what? 16. So that's 16 divided by 2. Okay, so we're done with that. Now we have the new problem here. Okay, go back to your checklist. E was exponents, that is what we just did. Do we have any more exponents? No, so mark it off. The next one is multiplication and division. Okay, you do those at the same time. Do we have any multiplication or division? We do. It's right here. Okay, so let's rewrite the problem. 8 plus, and I'm not going to write 16 divided by 2. I'm going to write what that equals. What is 16 divided by 2? 8. All right, let's go to our checklist. That was multiplication and division. Do we have any more of that? We don't. Mark it out. We're done with it. Last thing is add or subtract. Do we have that? Yes, we do. 8 plus 8 is 16. Wow. This was a very long problem. Okay? But as long as you're working them out on paper, you're not trying to do it in your head, you are going to be getting these correct. Just follow that checklist. PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Let's do these examples. I'm going to write, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You're going to write down number 2 on your paper. Do we have any parentheses? Yes, we do. 3 minus 1 is 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and write the 4th power up here. Plus 3 didn't get underlined, so it stays the same. Okay, we're done with parentheses. Now it's time for exponents. Do we have any exponents? We do. Right here, 2 to the 4th power. Okay, 2 to the 4th power means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I heard someone do this the other day. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 4 is 16. So that's a pretty quick way of taking 2 to the 4th power. It's equal to 16. 16 plus 3. Now we have a new problem. So let's go back to our checklist. Do we have any exponents in our new problem? No, we don't. Mark it out. Do we have any multiplication or division in our new problem? No, we don't. Mark it out. The last thing, add or subtract. Yeah, we have it right here. 16 plus 3 is 19. There's our answer. Okay, number 3. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay, parentheses. Yes, we have it right there. Okay, so we're going to do 24 divided by, none of that got touched. And then I'm going to take 3 times 2 squared. Now, boys and girls, inside the parentheses, we have 2 operations. We have this multiplication, and we have the exponent. So you still have to follow the order of operations within parentheses. What would you do first? Would you multiply, or would you do exponents? Come over here to your checklist. What comes first? Multiplication or exponents? Exponents does. So within that parentheses, you have to do the little exponent first. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and write down 3 times, and then 2 squared is equal to what? 4. Okay, now we still have the parentheses, so we still need to work inside that. 3 times 4. Okay, 24 did not get underlined, and neither did the divide sign. And 3 times 4 is what? It is 12. Okay, so do we have any more parentheses in our new problem? We don't. Mark it out. Do we have any exponents in our new problem? No. Mark it out. What about multiply or divide? Yep, 24 divided by 12 is 2, and that is our answer. Okay, I'm going to walk you through these pretty quick because I don't want to use up a lot of time on this video, more than we've already done. Okay, A, negative 4 times 3 minus 9 plus negative 2 squared. Okay, and we have our checklist. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So when we have the P, we have parentheses right here. Okay, and then let's rewrite the problem. Negative 4, and then this is times also. Okay, we're also taking negative 4 times whatever inside the parentheses is. So we want to leave that there because it is multiplying. 3 minus 9 is negative 6. Because we did keep, flip, flip. Keep, flip, flip. Okay? We have more negatives than we do positives. We have 6 more negatives than we do positives. So our answer is negative 6. Plus negative 2 squared. Okay, now, do we have any more work to do inside parentheses? No, we don't. We still have parentheses, but they mean multiplication. Okay, what's next on our list? Exponents. Do we have any of those? Yeah, right here. Okay, so negative 4 times negative 6. All of this was not underlined. I'm just going to copy it down. And then negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2. Okay, if you do the Chinese Dorito, negative 2 times negative 2. What's 2 times 2? 4, and it's going to be positive 4. Okay, so that's equal to 4. I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite it because I want my notes to be precise. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Okay, do we have any more exponents in our new problem? No, we don't, so let's mark out the E. Okay, multiplication and division. Do we have any of that? We do, right here. Negative 4 times negative 6. So let's use our Chinese Dorito. Negative 4 times negative 6. 4 times 6 is 24, so it's going to be positive 24. 24 plus 4 is equal to 28. Okay, and then that's all of our multiplication and division, and we did the addition and subtraction right here. That was the end of that. Okay, let's look at B. B says negative 21 plus negative 3 squared divided by 3. Okay, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So do we have any parentheses? We do, but there's no work inside of it. It's just there because they want us to square negative 3, not just 3. So there's no parentheses to do. Exponents, yes, right here. Well, let's rewrite the problem, but when we get to that underlined part, we're going to solve it. So that's negative 3 times negative 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and there's 2 negatives, so that's positive. 9 divided by 3. Okay, do we have any exponents in our new problem? No. Do we have any multiplication or division in our new problem? We do. It's right here. So let's rewrite the problem, and when we get to this part that's underlined, we're going to solve it. So negative 21 plus And then what's 9 divided by 3? 3. Okay. Do we have any more multiplication or division in our new problem? No, we don't. We just have adding and subtracting. So negative 21 plus 3. We have more negatives than we do positives, so my answer is negative. How many more negatives are there? 18, because 21 minus 3 is 18. Okay, letter C. Says 6 times negative 2 to the third power divided by 3 plus 1. This is like college level, you guys. If y'all can do this, y'all are amazing. You will be amazing. All right, parentheses. Do we have any work inside parentheses that needs to be done? No. We have the negative 2 cubed, but there's no work inside that to do. Exponents. Do we have exponents? We sure do, right here, negative 2 cubed. Let's underline it and let's rewrite the problem. Okay, now negative 2 cubed means negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Okay, so what's 2 times 2? 4. 4 times 2? 8. And then I have 3 negatives, so my answer is negative. So it's 6 times negative 8 divided by 3 plus 1. Okay. Do we have any more exponents in our new problem? No. Do we have multiplication or division? Yeah. In fact, we have both. Multiply and divide. What are we going to do first? We're going to multiply. Why? Because it comes first when you read the math problem like a sentence in a book. So you do whatever comes first when you read it like a sentence in a book. Multiplication is what comes first, and it's the very first part of this. So 6 times negative 8, negative 48. That's the only thing I underline. That's it. Everything else gets copied. You only underline one step at a time. Okay, do we have any more multiplication or division in our new problem? Yes, we do. Negative 48 divided by 3. Okay, Chinese Dorito works on division too. Negative 48 divided by 3. Okay, that equals 16. And it's negative, so that's negative 16. Okay, and then plus 1 was not underlined, so it stays the same. Do we have any multiplication or division in our new problem? No, we don't. Let's go to the next step. Add and subtract. Negative 16 plus 1. We have more negatives than we do positives, so our answer is negative. How many more do we have? 15. Negative 15 is our answer. Last two problems, and then you're done with this video. So number 4. Negative 7 times negative 4 divided by 14 minus 2 squared. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Do we have any parentheses? We do, but there's nothing to do inside those parentheses. It's just one number, so we're done with that. Do we have any exponents? We do, right here. 2 squared. So let's rewrite the problem. Negative 7. Everything that was not underlined just gets copied down the same. Okay, but the 2 squared, it's underlined, so we need to go ahead and solve it. 2 times 2 is 4. All right, do we have any more exponents in this problem? We don't. Mark that out. Multiply and divide. Do we have any? Yes, we do, but what comes first in our sentence? This multiplication right here, so that's what we're going to do first. Negative 7 times negative 4. Okay. Negative 7 times negative 4. 4 times 7 is 28. That's positive 28. Divided by 14 minus 4. This gets copied down just the same as it was because it didn't get underlined. Okay, back to our checklist. Is there any more multiplication or division in our new problem? Yes, there is. It's right here. 28 divided by 14 equals 2 minus 4. That gets copied down because it wasn't underlined. And 2 minus 4 is negative 2. If you do keep, flip, flip, you have more negatives than you do positives. How many more negatives do you have? 2 more negatives. So that's your answer. Check this video off on your planner so you can move on to the next step.